Welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff here off-site on a different location here with co-host Chip. What is up, Chip? Great to see you.
Back in the studio.
Man, back in the studio, man. Today, look at my laptop over here, man. Ripple XRP, more updates coming on. Still no settlement. And is this infrastructure bill that just passed through the Senate, is it going to kill U.S. crypto innovation? Man, we got to talk about that. I don't care. Positive news, man. We're going to make lemonade out of all those lemons out there. I don't have a lemon tree. You got the lemon tree representing, though. Man, you ready to kick this thing off?
I'm ready, man. Let's do it. Let's go.
Let's go.
Welcome to On the Chain.
Welcome to On the Chain. Oh, I saw you took it a brew. Some
that
in there.
That was water. That was water.
Some Florida brew there. Some Florida brew. So, Jeff, where are you? You're coming to us off the coast of
the Sebastian Inlet.
Nice. Very nice.
Look at that. Look at that view, man. It's beautiful over here.
That's a beautiful view right there, man. That's real. That's not
it's outstanding.
It's phenomenal.
That's legit. That's completely legit. Let me see. Let's see here. Hang on. Look at that. Look at that pan. Let me pan this way.
Nice.
Let me pan that way. That's legit. Look at that.
Yeah, that's very nice, man. So we might get to see a little. Well, you're on the wrong side for the sunset, but
yeah, we'll
see the sun get a little bit weird, cool in there and stuff. Whatever.
Join me tomorrow morning, and we'll do a nice sunrise.
Yeah, do the sunrise show tomorrow. You know what the hell? Hey guys, before we get started, I want to let you all know that this video is brought to you today by Permission.io. When you're out there in your travels and your internet, doing your deep research on cryptocurrencies and looking for cool projects, Permission.io makes probably the easiest way that you can find to actually get crypto. You just basically do what you always did. You sign up, you fill out your profile, you say what you would like to share, and then they might serve you up a video or something, an ad or something along that line. You engage with it. And now you're the one earning the ASK, the ask token, ask permission. And that's pretty much how it works. You can also turn your friends onto it. And we have a very bonus going on right now. They were kind enough to give us a bonus for our crowd. And if you guys go in there, I'm going to drop the link in a second, permission.io/onthechain with a little dash, a little underscore between them, because obviously it's a URL, but I'll throw it right there. But go out there, check it out. It's a really cool way to earn crypto, and you can accumulate. Then you can buy stuff with it. They have whole different ways. You can either buy stuff, you can, hodl it, whatever you'd like to do. That's permission.io. Big shout out. Jeff, let's talk about
stuff, man.
Yeah, let's talk about this. There's so much stuff going on right now. I mean, it's incredible. Some people we're going to talk about that have weighed in on this whole scenario with this infrastructure bill. And to say it's a colossal nightmare failure is just part of it. It is a disaster of epic proportions. And there's a lot of cool people weighing in on it, right, Jeff? I mean,
Michael Arrington, man. He came out strong.
He came out a little strong. Got a couple words, but let's
capital letters and a nice four-letter word in there.
Let me put that out. Let me put the Arrington tweet up there. Yeah, he was like, he's not having any of it really. I mean, it was he was just like, boom. Let's see, where is that tweet? I don't know. I know I replied to it somewhere along the lines. He tweets so much, so it's hard to really find what could possibly be. Good golly. I don't know. We'll find it here. It's under. It's in here somewhere.
There's a link in the keep.
Is there a link in there?
Yep.
All right, let me go click on that then.
And see if it's active. Sorry if I'm looking down. I'm looking at the chat over here
in the
bottom right hand corner.
I got two big screens over here that I'm always looking at. But let's just say this. I like that Arrington's got a little. He's got a little. One of those pirate flags and everything. So let's take a look at what he said here. He basically kind of laid it all out there and shared the sentiment of a lot of people in the cryptocurrency community. And he basically said this, boom, they effed us again. Is basically what he said. So there you go. And then Van Ley said, are you surprised? Gochstein related, say, hey, unreal. This is complete BS.
Except expected. We kind of expected it.
Yeah, it's kind of
saw it unfolding. We knew the direction it was going to go in, regardless of what Toomey was going to do and Loomis, regardless of what they put forth. as an amendment, regardless of what Senator Cruz said. The powers that be had already decided what direction they're going on this thing. Elizabeth Warren, Janet Yellen, and the rest, even that Portman guy.
Yeah, Portman he's it's hard to really understand what is going on. So I saw this today too. They suspended Rand Paul's account. We played that cool video last night when he was talking about just calling him out on the floor, saying there might be 5 possible senators, and he said maybe. So I don't like he's trying to be assumptive, that actually know what crypto is. And so they suspended his Twitter account for over a week now. So
7 days. Rand Paul. I can't believe, for nonsense. This guy is a surgeon. He's a medical doctor.
He's a medical doctor. Yeah, he's a
an eye surgeon. He specialized in eye surgery. The guy was a virologist. He did tons of research in the space. And it's just more silencing. But it's not just on that side of it. The fact that they're trying to stifle innovation here in the United States for the crypto space. To me, I look at this and I said the other day, the governments think in decades. They don't think, people think in weeks, in months, and years. For the governments, they're thinking in a decade. One bill, another bill, they win some, they lose some. They don't even care. They're just like, hey, it's part of the game. The thing is that for that long period of time, this is like a speed bump in history. It's a nothing, it's a big nothing burger, although, for this period of time, it's going to have an impact on us, while the rest of the world's like, hey, this is the greatest thing. This is like a gift, it's like manna raining down from heaven, on the rest of the world. It's the greatest thing ever. They're like, hey, the U.S. just passed a bill that's going to slow down innovation. Companies in the U.S. are going to flee to countries all over the world. I'm still very bullish and optimistic this thing develops. The U.S. is going to wake up one day and be like, where'd all of our crypto go?
Well, but here's the thing, though. So let's compare presidents of this party, Democrat Party. Okay, so you had a president named Bill Clinton back in the 90s when the internet was starting to go. Nobody really knew what it was, but it was really exciting. And Bill Clinton had the opportunity. He worked with the Republican Congress, and they went ahead and they actually put some good nonpartisan stuff out. They said, hey, let's not tax us. Let's see where it's going to go. Let it grow. Let it grow. Let it evolve. I mean, they later started levying taxes for cross-border stuff. You're in Florida and you bought something, off of Amazon. You lived in Vegas or whatever. The supplier was there. You didn't pay a state tax. Well, they later fixed all that. I mean, over in time. But in the beginning, they said, let's keep it free. Let's keep it open. And that's the explosion that happened. That's the innovation that happened in the U.S. Now let's contrast that with a guy that probably doesn't even know what planet he's on right now. But let's suppose he doesn't have any clue. These people, they don't have any. You've got the second dawning, which is to me a lot bigger than what the internet was, just because it's a new asset class, first one in over 400 years. So you contrast that. Bill Clinton had the foresight to say, hey, this is something we need to take a look at, and knew enough to say, let's, so I'll credit Clinton on that. You almost think that Bill would give a call to Biden and say, hey, there goes a boat, or
that's a little ridiculous.
Someone back on a speedboat. I want to see some porpoises diving behind you there.
Dude, there were some fish jumping earlier. It was crazy. We're out fishing.
Jeff is sandwiched between 2 docks, a palm tree, a beautiful blue water, and I'm here back at the OTC studio. But Jeff, I mean, so there was a lot of stuff going on where they said, hey, we might not agree on everything, but let's figure out how we can keep this going and let innovation thrive. Meanwhile, this is what we have here. We have more of this going on. Let me just throw this up on the screen. This is what I said. This is my comment. They hate us. I mean, you figure that out? They do. I mean, anybody who would listen to the constituency, and then we got Jesse Powell. We got some other people we're going to check in with via video. But imagine that this colossal 3.5 trillion, it keeps seeming like the number keeps growing, a ginormous bill. And the one little thing that held it up was the cryptocurrency thing, because people were paying attention, Jeff.
It's amazing. I mean, I really think it's amazing. We've gone years where they just keep pushing it aside like it's meaningless, right? It has no significance in their life. Ted Cruz said it yesterday. He said there's not even 5 senators sitting there in that room that understand crypto, that have done enough to research it. I guarantee it goes to the House. There's going to be a few more than that. We have Darren Soto, Democrat out of Orlando. We've got Warren Davidson, Republican out of Ohio. We've got Ted Emmer, Tom Emmer. We've got Ted Budd. There's a whole host of them that are really coming to the forefront and have been for a number of years, that have been pushing the crypto and blockchain initiatives, both Democrat and Republican. And that's exciting. That's real bipartisanship, because they're working, even though they keep getting silenced and shut down, they're there working and pushing it forward. Maxine Waters has been in charge of the Financial Services Committee all these years that they put the Token Taxonomy Act in front of them, and they're walking around like this, blah, 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 blah. We don't want to hear it. We don't want to see it. They're shutting their eyes. They're looking the other way. And then, then you have Janet Yellen coming in and Elizabeth Warren. It's used for nefarious purposes. This is how people defraud, and all this cheating going on. And then Gensler from Chip, do you know he taught at MIT?
I was not aware of that. No.
It's amazing. For 3 years, actually, he was at MIT. But he comes out and everyone's like, hey, he's going to be the great savior because he taught at MIT. And that's not really the case. So Chip, it's just like, the cards are laid out. Everybody can see exactly where they stand. Now,
that's it, man.
If you're concerned about your financial well-being moving into the future, you could be 15 years old, you could be 80 years old. It doesn't matter, but you have to look out for number one. Things are going to work out okay on a global scale. Don't worry. You have little control over what happens, between countries on a global scale. You have to worry about yourself. If you worry about yourself in your community and do what's right, because if the money isn't there, if they destroy the economic opportunities for your next generation, you're leaving this planet worse off than you received it. All this other stuff, you can't control big corporations. You can't control nuclear weapons being thrown at one country or another if it happens. You can't control the war-torn countries. All this right now, this crosses the line because it impacts the individual. And you know what, Chip? They don't even care.
No,
they don't even care.
Not to care. Look at this. So mixed, otherwise known as Josh Soul says, God, give politics a rest, guys. Yeah, okay, it's true enough, but we can give it a rest. Problem is, it's all politics. That's it. It's all politics. Everything that happens on a daily basis, there's some political thing. Now, I would rather it not be anything about politics. Let's just go on to crypto, because we got some cool crypto stories coming up. But, there's a lot of stuff. Politics is all there. It's politics these days. Politics is life, unfortunately. And but let's get into some crypto stories here, because we can jump back on this thing.
Stuff, Chip.
Yeah, let's get into good stuff here. So this right here, check this out. So you guys all know that Tranglo, Ripple took a 40% stake in Tranglo. It's over there in the APEC region. And Tranglo was just granted new payment functions by the Monetary Authority of Singapore. This is pretty exciting news, right? So we're always, and part of the theme tonight we're going to talk about is that, there's some stuff going on in the politics area, but mass adoption is actually starting to happen. And the good indicator of that is that this one little last minute insert crypto thing almost sidetracked for 3 days this entire bill. So if you don't think that crypto is expanding and it's starting to take hold, that's part of what the whole mass adoption is. So
that's it. And you got to get a piece of that. I mean, that's the whole point, is that, Chip, this is a global phenomenon. We're focused on what's happening here locally, and people say, hey, no more politics. You guys have a global show and it's about crypto. And I look at it, the lines have been blurred. They crossed the line. They're trying to take from us. If you don't recognize that, then that's to your own detriment. You have to understand all sides of it. But I'll tell you what, I'm more excited now than ever before.
Oh, yeah,
because you're seeing mass adoption. The reason why they're doing all of this is because they're afraid. They're afraid. Their big lobby dollars are being impacted, and they understand that this is a new asset class, and the power is in the hands of the people, right? So you look at like Tranglo, what you were talking about over in Singapore. Countries that have never had economic power before are going to have economic power. They're going to be stable. They're getting stability, which is more important than ever, so.
And Singapore is really, it's one of the top countries as far as embracing cryptocurrency. So you got to really love that too. So let's just jump in here. It says, this is the payment so the Monetary Authority of Singapore, known as MAS, under the Payment Services Act, the PSA, to provide account issuance, domestic money transfer, and e-money issuance services. It was passed by the Singaporean Parliament on 14th of January 2019, but it provides for regulatory certainty and consumer safeguards. So yeah, this is all part of it too, but this is a country that understands. This is back in 2019. The license to perform the additional services and boost to the rapidly expanding capability of Triangle's cross-border payment network, fully regulated by 4 authorities and covers over 22 countries. So that's the key differentiator right there, right? So they don't have this murkiness of how do they navigate. Now, the thing that I'm super excited about this, and I remember at the time when it's sort of the news broke that Ripple took a 40% stake in Triangle, and people are like, I don't know what Triangle is, I never heard of it before. But all you have to know here is that it's fully regulated, 4 authorities, covers 22 countries. It's now empowered to grant true, seamless global payments to millions of people and businesses by routing these mass payouts and instant transactions through the local supporting infrastructure. And now this right here is big news. Now, and Ripple had enough foresight to see, okay, you know, everyone like on the heels of that MoneyGram thing not working out, okay, fair enough, that didn't work out. But this Trianglo is really starting to get traction. And now the fact that they got the green light, you know, you're talking about big possibilities for this country. And I tell you what, Jeff, this is the kind of stuff, forget about all the other stuff that's happening in the background. This is what people are missing. It's all noise.
That's right. It's all noise, a ton of noise in the background. And stuff like this is exciting because you're talking about, you know, big rails that are being laid down, you know, to move massive amounts of money between countries, and you're seeing, you know, some really significant moves that are taking place, and that's meaningful. It's super meaningful. You know, Asia is on the forefront right now.
Number one.
Know? It's number one, and you're going to see countries like Portugal. You know, people are going to look like Portugal is an economic powerhouse. You know, who's Portugal? You know, people forget about Portugal. You're sleeping on Portugal, and now all of a sudden, there's big blockchain and crypto adoption that's going to happen over there because of, you know, because they're you know, going through regulatory clarity and attracting the businesses, you know, attracting this new technology, and countries all over the world are seeing this. It's an imperative. It's amazing.
So with the MoneyGram, we saw there was some stuff going on with the Philippines, but look at this. So some of the payment corridors immediately enhanced with this new functionality: Philippines, Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam, Singapore. Real-time payments now fully unlocked. Why real-time, Jeff? Why? Because they're using they're using XRPL, they're using XRP to send 4 to 5 seconds, while full e-wallet functions are now available from the top corridors, same countries I just mentioned, and also throw in there Pakistan. Basically, more upgrades are going to be forthcoming, but that's what they're starting with. The Triangle CEO, he's Jackie Lee, said, you know, these new licenses are a testament to the capabilities of Trianglo. And as a global payment provider in Singapore, we provided revolutionary fintech solutions locally and abroad. We're thankful for the support. We'll continue to bring improved financial services to the masses. So that's just amazing, man. This was founded in 2008. And in 2008, look where they've gone, man.
That's amazing. 2008, you know, so you fast forward a couple years. Sorry, I'm getting destroyed by mosquitoes all of a sudden.
Oh yeah,
but man, I'm gonna end up moving inside here in a minute. But yeah, but 2008. I mean, you're looking, you know, fast forward, and now you see what's going to happen with that agenda. You know, it's going to be outstanding. That's the future. If you don't recognize that that's the direction the future is going, it's to your own detriment.
Yeah, and you think they care what's happening in the United States? They don't give one iota. They don't care. Look at this.
Doesn't matter.
They have offices.
I'm going to move inside.
Yeah, let me
take me out for a minute.
Take you out for a second when you're ready. Just wave your hand, then I'll be ready. But I want to kind of hit this last point here. They're founded in 2008. They've got offices in Kuala Lumpur, Singapore, Jakarta, Dubai, London. Their global network spans more than 100 countries, 2,500 mobile operators, 1,300 bank wallets, 130,000 cash pickup points. This is a big news, and this is why I just really love the fact that this whole Triangle thing is like, this is, to me, some of the best news that we've had in some time. And again, they're all in with Ripple and XRP. It's a great partnership. having 40% of something is a pretty solid stake. I think when they went in with MoneyGram, it was a lot lower. I think it was something like 10% maybe. Maybe it was a little bit more than that. But again, it was a smaller thing. And a lot of time it was just feeding them money. MoneyGram got in a little bit of trouble. They watched their stocks come down to an all-time low of a little over $1. And now it's back over $10. So it's kind of been oscillating back and forth there. And I know a lot of people in the community bought that. Why? Because of Ripple, right? Because Ripple was involved with MoneyGram. You want to bet on things and invest in things that and moving forward. So let me just take that out here. Let me go do this here. But yeah, Triangle is going to be a player for the foreseeable. All right, I got some jammed up here today. It's for the foreseeable future. And let's look at this right here. This is basically, look at right here. That says it all. Transforming global payments, simplifying the cross-border payments so you can focus on keeping your customers happy, transform your foreign remittance business. And this was an ideal situation for Ripple to jump into because it says that cross-border global payments, focus, it's a fun little website as well. Why do I always have to accept those little things there? Trusted, great options, security. This is how much they process worldwide, 8.82 billion. That's a drop in the bucket. That's almost nothing. Watch what happens to that number as we go into 2022. Watch what happens to that number as we go into 2024, right? It's going to blow up even bigger. Jeff, just wave your hands when you are ready to join us. I will pull your other one out of there. I know you're joining on a computer or something like that. So Triangle Connect, yeah, and they've got some use cases here. But yeah, this company right here is on the move, and you can also facilitating cash too. And this is going to be something we really got to take a time. And Jeff, are you ready to join back in? Not yet ready yet. Okay, wave your hands like that so I can see you. He's in the green room right now. If you guys don't know, basically we use the software. We can see people that join below, and then you can see them. They can hear. I can't hear them, but we can visually see them. So that's why I'm asking for some visual cues from Jeff. And then I want to jump in this thing because I thought this was semi-optimistic as too. Now, you guys are all familiar with Ashish Birla. He's none other than the general manager of RippleNet, but he put out a pretty good series of tweets. I thought, he's pretty decent here. Let me see. A two-panel tweet thread, but he's always checking in with some good stuff. He says here, crypto will underpin our global financial systems. There's no doubt about it. In the 90s, we saw smart and thoughtful bipartisan regulation. It's funny enough, Jeff and I brought that up a little bit earlier. When it came to the internet, it completely changed the world, paved the way for the tech giants of today. Then, obviously, he's commenting on an article on TechCrunch that with a heading that says the Biden administration can change the world and new crypto regulations, putting a positive spin on that. And then here we still have the opportunity to do the same for crypto. There's your optimism you are waiting for. Me bring Jeff back in here.
There we go. Oh.
Hang on a second. Let me remove you here. Let's
this one.
Yeah. Okay.
Just
you got that
this
out
one.
there. Okay. Good.
Yeah, that's the only one that works. I can't get the other one to work.
All right. No worries. I
that's
wasn't sure
okay.
which
But
one.
I'm in there. I'm in here. It's all good.
All right. It's all good. So I was just saying with Ashish Birla, we have the opportunity to do the same for crypto. We have the opportunity. This is optimism. The government should be technology agnostic. Again, the government doesn't pick winners and losers. Let the people, when you have a private company, the people choose who the winners and losers are. Government should never be in that role. He says, let's keep the pressure on. This is far from over. Hats off to Senator Toomey. Senator, I found out, by the way, Jeff, it's pronounced Lummis, which I always want to Loomis, but she calls it Lummis. Ron Wyden, Mark Warner, Senator Rob Portman, and Senator Sinema for fighting the good fight. And you know what he's doing here? And I like this because he's not singling out, he's singling out both sides. Hey, you guys had this, but what he's encouraging them to do is get together on this. And again, this is good for everybody, Jeff.
Yeah. Oh, it's awesome. No, it's great. I mean, it's really good. It's all good news.
It's all good, as they say. And also, too, this is kind of exciting, too. While we're running through some of the Ripple XRP news here, we have here, Ripple put out this tweet just a couple hours ago, but this one here is they want you to go and vote. I'm going to drop it in there, guys, so let's go ahead and vote on this. But this is vote to see Monica Long share how blockchain is unlocking a new tokenized economy that'll have widespread consumer impact. while creating a more equitable financial system at South by Southwest. If you guys aren't familiar with South by Southwest, it happens in Austin, Texas every year. It started out as a music show. It morphed into an art show, and now it started including tech. And of course, now it's crypto. So the way it works is anybody can propose, like I've in the past proposed to present something at South by Southwest. They group them and they put them into something where then you can go vote on them. This is Monica Long and Josh Williams of Forte. And let me just go over and I'll click on this here, because then we're going to go over there. We're going to have a chance to go jump on there. This is the panel picker, guys. Let's go ahead and vote. I'm going to throw that in there so you guys can click on that and vote there too. But this is Beyond the NFT Hype, Unlocking Tokenized Economies. And there you go. Speakers, Monica Long, General Manager. And you got Josh Williams, who's the founder and CEO of Forte. If you remember, it was a couple years back, maybe about 2 years ago, where Ripple, Jeff, put in $100 million into Forte. And this was to encourage developers, not to build on XRPL, not to build and use XRP, but really to encourage them in the whole gaming sector. So this is the format. The takeaway is you got to learn how to new blockchain is unlocking new tokenized economy, dive into emerging platforms like Forte that allow the gaming developer and other communities to own, sell, and earn a real income. Now, the funny part about this is the kicker of this is in 2022. That's when this kicks off. When is the actual date? And then so you guys vote up or down. You got to vote up. I got to sign in, which I'm not going to do that now. But anyways, go ahead and you click it up for a vote or down for a vote. And this is how they choose who the speakers are going to be. It's a very democratic process. So, but I think this is in when they.
I like it. They start bringing stuff like this, Chip, to the blockchain, and it's decentralizing everything. I like that, unlocking the token economies. Really making a big impact in the space. Think about the capabilities of what blockchain and NFTs and digital assets can bring to the gaming space. I'm really surprised. Till now we haven't seen like a massive boom in the gaming space. I would expect that we would have seen a big adoption so far, with a lot of these gaming companies looking for an opportunity to further monetize their platforms. There's already, each one is in a silo. I mean, the gaming space is no different than the CBDCs. They're all, you go into one game and you have the asset, the token, or the currency, or whatever it is that you're earning and you're spending, for whatever it is you need for that game. And then you move from game to game, and every single one of them is different. And there's no way to migrate. There's no way to benefit from the amount of time and effort, the work you put in to gaining whatever it is you get from that game, and now, there's a way to monetize it. There's a way to move it from platform to platform, game to game. We would see the space just explode. I mean, that's its own economy.
Yeah, it is. So so I did find a little bit of information on the South by Southwest. Basically, who wants to know better to see at South by Southwest than you? Here's your chance. Say during the panel pick community voting. The voting runs from the 10th to the 26th. And this is going to be the 2022 conference programming. And yeah, it's pretty cool. So it talks about how to vote. You got to log in, obviously. But let's see. Jeff, maybe we should go to South by Southwest this year and do some on-spot interviews. That's some of the things we want to start doing in the future, where we go someplace and then, with On the Chain. And that way, if you guys are going, we can meet up. We can do some fun things together, interview some fun people, whatever, do stuff like that.
Where is it, in Miami?
It's in Austin, Texas.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Every year since its inception. So that's okay. I know people in Austin. There's all kind of this. It'll be some fun.
Keeping it weird in Austin.
Yeah. 22 Austin, Texas, March. So this is going to happen in March 11th through the 20th. Sounds far away. It's like 7 months away. So
we'll be here before you know it.
Be here before you know it.
We've got Formula One in Miami in May.
Yeah.
Or June.
Interesting.
Probably May.
Well, Jeff, we had a tweet not too long ago, the CFTC, basically doing a little bit of throat punching, kind of pushing back a little bit on what was going on over there at the chaos at the SEC. So this right here I thought was interesting, because the CFTC came out with a tweet on an enforcement today, and you guys will probably recognize this name, but In enforcement news, the federal court orders BitMEX to pay $100 million for illegally operating a cryptocurrency trading platform and anti-money laundering violations. $100 million. And so
That's a
this
big
is,
one.
you know what else is interesting, Jeff? Do you think there's something else at play here? The CFTC is regulating an exchange. They're coming out.
Definitely something out. There's definitely something else at play here.
Right? I mean, it's like they're coming out with this thing kind of like big, bold, hey, we're the one. Because guess what? The CFTC is really the one that ought to regulate. Commodity Futures Trading Commission. That's what they, amongst other things, it falls under their umbrella. It requires them to pay this $100 million civil monetary penalty, provides up to $50 million of that penalty needs to be offset by payments to the BitMEX entities and make or pursuant to consent of assessment of civil monetary penalty entered by the financial blah, 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 right? This case reinforces the expectation that the digital assets industry, as it continues to touch broader pool of market participants, takes seriously its responsibilities in the regulated financial industry and its duties to develop and adhere to a culture of compliance, said the acting chairman, Rostin Bem, whatever his name is. So right here, this is a shot across the bow, the way I see it, Jeff. This
it is. I mean,
the expectation of digital
to the
assets.
SEC. Who's gonna regulate? Who's gonna control? I think there's a bigger conversation here because you have the crypto space, you have stable coins, and then you have the CBDCs. And I think you're going to see, a battle between the CFTC, the SEC, and the Treasury debating on who gets to oversee what. And obviously, we know Gensler is asking Congress for more power to the SEC so he can then regulate crypto. And yet the CFTC is coming out and saying, wait a minute, this is more like a commodity. It belongs to us. It doesn't belong to you. And then the Treasury has been silent, other than the Treasury's coming out a little negative, but they're not like, they don't want to say, hey, we want to regulate. They want to destroy, so Janet Yellen coming out strong. However, the stable coins, CBDCs, stable coins, there's a little bit of a butting of heads there. That's where the Treasury comes into play. So now you have all these parties that are fighting over the crypto space. And Chip, you know what? I think regardless of the outcome of this infrastructure bill, like we said, it's all noise. But to me, it's all a net positive because all these years, like we were talking about earlier, we've gone with no discussion. Now there's discussion. Sometimes negative discussion is better than zero discussion. Yeah. At least it's in conversation now. So as there's discourse, people are going to wake up one day and say, hey, you know what? I think we made a wrong decision. Let's have a new bill. And you're going to start seeing more and more bills. I believe now that crypto has been in dialogue, we probably will see more and more bills come to the forefront that are going to get passed because they can't not do it at this point. They threw out some ideas here in this infrastructure bill that are a little too vague and open-ended, and they're going to have to start solidifying something. And so at that point, that's where you get more bills.
But see, all is not lost too, because the Senate passed it, but it goes back to the House. The House is where Darren Soto and all his henchmen are there. And Darren Soto's a good guy. He's a Democrat, but he's a guy that understands it. There's a bunch of other Democrats that understand it. So let's see if they can rise up to the occasion and say, hey, guys, come on. Because he's a guy that understands it. He's one of the sponsors of the token taxonomy. I want to throw this up. XRP Speedball, thank you for the support. He says, Jeff said something is going. What's going on is the SEC and the CFTC knows that Caramilk a secret. Okay. I don't know, Jeff. Thought you would understand that a little bit. The Caramilk secret. Awesome. You don't know the Caramilk secret?
The Caramilk secret must have something to do with Canada. Is it the
is that a
Canadian
chocolate?
Is that a Canadian chocolate? So I was going to say Canadian chocolate.
Like chocolate to me, but
it does sound like a little bit like chocolate.
They know the secret. Here we might say KFC secret ingredients or something along those lines.
There you go.
But Jeff, here's something you might not have expected to see. Right below us over here, below Florida here, another country flirting big time. Bank of Jamaica mints the first batch of CBDCs. How about that?
That's big. That's huge.
Gentlemen, man. Yeah. This is pretty interesting. Bank of Jamaica making steady progress with the country's central bank digital currency. Now, Just to let's say something really quick on this. Look, you have Jeff, you brought it up. You have competing ideas, right? Blockchain, which is decentralized, free, open, nobody controls it, versus centralized. When you have something like a central bank, centralized currency. I'm surprised it took this long for these knuckleheads to wake up. They'll go, whoa, hang on a second. Hold up. You're threatening my whole existence as a politician, as a person of power. So this is one of the things the CBDCs are offsetting it. But Jamaica making the moves. Now, you brought something up before, Jeff, where you had said that it's interesting how countries are making power moves that weren't known. Let's say El Salvador wasn't known really, but they were everywhere with the volcano power, with the Bitcoin becoming a legal tender. And now we got the Bank of Jamaica is jumping in there. Rastafari, man. So it's at a short financial ceremony organized on Monday morning. The Jamaican Apex Bank minted the country's very first lot of fiat-backed CBDCs, the digital version of the Jamaican dollar. So this is going to be interesting to watch. We've talked an awful lot about that. I would like to see, Jeff, what are your ideas to see how does this actually work in Jamaica? Does it get adopted? Do people care? Do they care enough to say, oh, well, is it going to replace my fiat? It's on my phone, and how do I pay? You know what I mean?
Yes. I believe that we're going to start seeing streamlined adoption over time. I think there's always in all these other countries, there's always a concern over FX exchange. So whether you're a visitor or not, you come over with your physical currency and you have to find a way to exchange that physical currency. Now, when you travel globally, you can use your credit card pretty much everywhere, except if you go to Europe, for whatever reason, most parts of Europe don't accept American Express. So American Express, difficult to use. You go to Iceland, you can pay for your water at the base of a mountain with a credit card because it's relatively cashless. So, but I think that the problem there is that people want to have easy transaction. So moving to a CBDC, Jamaica, whatever country it is, you get rid of the fiat and you have a simplification of the movement of money. A lot of these people remain unbanked. So they're trying to figure out, hey, if we go to this digital and you have your cell phone, you can put it on your cell phone, everybody can bank all of a sudden. I think there's going to be some adoption, but they're missing a lot of the points to the overall benefit of the crypto and the DeFi space. That's all going to come together because the deficiencies of the CBDCs are going to be shown. They're going to say, hey, this is just like fiat. There's no difference. You're not seeing any changes. So, but, I was thinking about, you're talking about Jamaica, and I was thinking about whatever happened to the Bahamian sand dollar.
Yeah, whatever happened to that? I mean, it was a lot of fanfare about it, but I don't know. Did anything really ever come of that? Is it still in use? I mean, I don't know. It's like I haven't heard anything more.
I just looked it up, and and so I don't know. Let me see if I can pull this up. I don't know. Trying to do two things, two cameras, two platforms. I don't know if you can even see it. Can you see what I'm sharing? Probably not.
I can't see it.
There you go.
There you go. Bahamian dollar.
Check it out. So there's the digital Bahamian dollar, and so I don't know. Is it in use? This is their website. Sand dollars is safe and easy alternative to cash. Central Bank of the Bahamas through authorized financial institutions. Hey, come in here. Look at that. Say what's up to the people.
Man.
Not very safe.
Not very safe.
That's a joke. Subscribe and give him some money.
That's right, man. Subscribe and give him some money.
So check this out. Evolving objectives. So I don't know if there's anything new. Why should we use it? But look at that. It goes to the mobile application. Getting involved. Have they really done anything?
And how many did they mint, Jeff? I'm curious about that too.
I mean, December, latest news. Look at this. There's no news. So the latest news is December of 2020.
Did it get off the ground? That's what I'm saying. I mean, was it a big sizzle and then nothing? It almost seems like that's what happened.
Yeah, maybe drive towards the pilot. So they get to the pilot then they're moving into the nationwide launch, and maybe they never went to a nationwide launch. I don't know. Got to dig into this. But as you were talking about the Jamaican asset, I'm thinking about what happened to that one, and then what about the Zuga coin over in Zimbabwe?
Yeah, I mean,
discussion there as well.
We'll have to see what happens, you know. And again, it's like, so the thing I wonder is how much are they actually going to mint, right? I mean, how much is actually going to get minted? A bunch, a little bit. It's hard to know. James Filan, there was some. He shared a couple. Jimmy Filan shared some stuff that's going on with the Ripple case. I don't know if we do want to like kind of like bounce into that a little bit, but so there was some stuff where SEC was requesting Slack communications between employees. So I'm wondering, like, if I say something offhanded, because obviously, you know, our organization uses Slack. It's one of the best communication tools, and I would rather have it just replace email. And you can load stuff up in there. You can launch programs. I have all my stuff going into my Slack, but the SEC wants to know what have they been talking about. I'm mostly like, you know, if I was like just a person where I make an offhanded joke or I say something like that, what does that have to do with the grand scheme of what the real intention of management is, right? So they want to know what this is. So they were pressing in on this whole thing. And then the motion, 8 hours ago, the motion to file excess pages was granted. This is funny because they have to file a motion because...
I'll take over now.
Go ahead, take over, Aaron. Come on.
You want to take over here?
Oh, yeah.
Come on, let's talk some crypto, Aaron.
There you go. You can take over
It's
now.
massive.
Chip, he's going to take over.
Let's talk over. Let's move over, Rover. Let Aaron take
I know
over.
nothing.
That's okay.
Yes, you do. We're gonna. So, Aaron, let's do a little bit of let's do a little Q&A here. What's the best video game right now you like to play?
Rocket League.
Rocket League. That's all you play is Rocket League. Are there any
Yeah.
other games you play?
Mobile games.
Mobile games. What about
Alright.
Fortnite?
You can take it back.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay.
That was easy, man. That was quick.
That's the fanfare.
No, nothing.
That was it.
That's
So
the fanfare.
that was the gaming. The gaming was over. There you go. So let's jump back into this.
There you
Thank you for jumping in there and getting put on the spot like that. Good sport. But I wanted to go
You
into
gotta
this.
do.
So they had to file a motion. This is what's great about the courts, right? They had to file a motion to get excess pages. Judge Netbering said the parties' letter briefing shall not exceed 8 pages. So the court strongly, Jeff, encourages the defendants to jointly file a single 15. So now you can see the confusion that creates, right? SEC gets 8 pages. We get 8 pages, but no.
You
The
get 15.
court wants 15, you know? This is kind of like, this is where we're at right here, Jeff. It's like, so although Garlinghouse and Larson could each file a separate 8-page letter, Judge Knepper wants them to file a single 15-page letter addressing all of their claims. This is the whole reason that they wanted to file an excess, because sometimes you need a little bit of time and some pages to lay out your sort of case, right?
That's it. Exactly.
And so
how do they limit it to that number? If you say, hey, I want you to do it in 8, but no, you know what? I prefer you do it in 15.
it's succinctness, right? So the court, if you can't lay it out in a short period of time, because I mean, look at that original filing by the SEC. It was like 70 or 80 pages of nothingness, right? So you had to dissect it all and go through it. I think the court just wants it to be succinct. They want it to be very specific. You cut all the fluff and only the necessary stuff. And Ripple filed the request for the extension of time until Monday, August 16th, to respond to this SEC's emergency motion regarding those Slack conversations on their discovery dispute. So they put a late thing in there. I don't know where that came from. They're like, ooh, Slack, what's that? I mean, most organizations use some form of communication device. I don't know what you guys, some people use Google Teams. I don't know. What do you guys use, Jeff? What's your preferred methodology?
I've tried using Slack. It's more an issue of getting people to adopt it. So I've tried Slack, tried Google Teams, I've tried all sorts of different things. We always fall back really just using Google Docs. That's it.
Yikes.
And it's hard to get full adoption there. And then what happens? People are like, "Oh, I just saved it over here and I saved it over there."
Yeah, well,
and
that Google Docs thing. The
you
Word
try to bring it all back together.
It's incredible, all those Word docs. And then like 15 people edit and someone's job's going to be to like, that's why I was like, no, let's put that in a Google Doc before we go any further.
And then emails upon emails. I'm like, what, if we just did this on Slack, and then people are like, oh, but it's so confusing. I'm like,
It's not confusing
All
at
right.
all. By the way, everything we
Forget
do.
it.
So the best thing about Slack, which I like, because I've tried Teams and Google and everything. The cool thing is you just like click a button, you're boom, you got a video call. There's no scheduling. You're talking to them, sharing screens, boop, 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 boop. You're done.
I
So
like
this
Slack.
other one says Ripple's response. Yeah, okay, we already talked about that.
April 6th or August 16th. I mean, we've got, another 6 days. So
I don't think it's going to be an issue.
There.
Well, I
It's gonna be
mean, it's like
interesting.
on a discovery, it's like, whoa. I mean, like that's a lot of stuff to pull together. Now, here's the fascinating part about that. To my knowledge, I don't believe the SEC still, to this day, and we'll probably find out in the next hearing, right? The telephonic hearing. They still have not provided, 3 times they were provided by the judge to provide the communication, not in her office, but any communications they had with Stellar or Bitcoin, any kind of people out there. They've asked 3 times. The judge has said, I strongly encourage you to provide this. They've done nothing. Meanwhile, Ripple and Garlinghouse and Larson's attorneys are doing backflips trying to comply, right, with the court, because that's what you usually do. You try to make sure you comply. And it says Brad Garlinghouse files a motion to seal exhibits. Now, this is interesting. To seal the exhibits, including parts of the William Hinman deposition transcript, as part of deliberative process of privilege dispute. So that's probably more of a strategic move than anything else right there. Hard to read into that. I have no clue why they're doing that. And Jimmy Filan, he tweeted during a break at the SqueezeCon, so that was cool. I'd like to see Squeeze. Good band,
Nice.
Excellent band. Then we have the defendants file a motion. This happened just 33 minutes ago. Defendants file a motion challenging the SEC's improper assertion of the deliberative process privilege. You'd have to probably jump in there. I don't know if we want to get into that. Seems like a lot to
That's
unpack.
a lot to dissect.
It's a lot to
And
unpack and probably pretty boring for the most part.
But
I
here
wanted
you
to-
go, Chip.
What
Hey,
the hell, James Rule?
James Rule XRP, big support there.
Wow,
XRP
man.
is, guess what? XRP is still not a security. The XRP army wins to the end. And there's an XRP tip for you right there.
Oh, exactly. And I got to thank you very much for that. That deserves the wow button right there, Jeff. That's a wowie, man.
I think
James.
so.
And one of
Sound
these
effects.
bad boys for all of our supporters, everybody in the chat, and also the super chat. We really
That's big.
appreciate it, Jeff and I.
Yeah.
And I wanted to just do a little shout out for tomorrow night. We have Antonio Brasi in here tomorrow night. He is from Blockquake. If you guys don't know Blockquake, I started following from when they announced. I remember when I was doing the XRP Minute, I did a short video. They said, hey, can we use the video? Can we play it? I'm like, yeah, go ahead, play it. But he's going to be on the chain. He's going to be here tomorrow for a full hour. We're going to unpack what they're doing over there and want to get his sort of thoughts about what's happening. They're based out in New York, but Blockquake, I think, is an exciting exchange to watch, and he's going to unpack a lot. He's also been following this very closely, Jeff, this whole thing going on with the SEC, and he's up on all the current stuff as well. So we'll have a lot to unpack and kind of get into some sort of discussions tomorrow with Antonio. So I'm looking forward to that.
That's awesome. And then we've got DNI, the digital nomad investor, coming on Thursday all the way from Thailand.
All the way from
that's
Thailand.
Exciting.
Confirmed.
A lot of these guys in the community now might not know DNI. DNI hasn't streamed or made videos for a while, but he was always, great content, always putting it out there. And sometimes you go to bed at night watching a DNI video, wake up the next morning watching the DNI video, and it still the live stream, and it was awesome.
Well, he brings a unique perspective because he was a former government. He worked deep in the government. He worked on a lot of stuff. So his perspective is from somebody who's been there, done that. So he brings a unique perspective. Only somebody having ventured where he's been and some of the things that he's been privy to can really kind of divulge. So he brings that unique perspective. There's nobody out there that I'm aware of. And also, he's a big time crypto fan. We got to know each other a couple years back because he was a big time XRP fan. We'll jump in to see what he's into now. And don't you remember, Jeff, when he live streamed his wedding? That was a lot of fun. So he live streamed his wedding. to his wife's dismay, and that was pretty fun. Getting to
that
see
was awesome. We were there at his wedding.
Yeah, Thai wedding, and he was like passing the camera around, and we were watching some of this stuff and a big cake and everything. It just felt like
so cool.
Like almost like my recollection is like I almost felt like I remember the scenes of it. I almost feel like I was there, but we were like sitting there watching it. I was actually watching it on my phone, but
that's it. Oh, that was great. And then next week, we're getting this set up, but we are going to have Charlie Silver from the CEO of Permission is going to be with us next Tuesday. So
yeah, that's going to be awesome too. And Charlie,
that's going to be cool.
Again, Charlie's background and what he's done, it's almost like you have to pry it out of him. But I love the fact that he's done so many things, been part of some big organizations and companies. And this guy knows data like nobody's business. How does he know? Because he built a multi-million-dollar company and he sold it, he exited. But he knows it was all database. So the idea of him putting you in charge of your data with permission.io is kind of a game changer, right? But it came from his background, and we'll kind of unpack that and break that down. Jeff, I wanted to jump into this because we talk about the mass adoption. Well, here it is. Andreessen Horowitz joins $111 million investment in the blockchain-powered 5G network Helium, and we are on the wait list, you and I, for the Helium.
We're waiting for that. And we'll get it in 2025.
Who knows when, but it's a very exciting. If you guys aren't looking at Helium, Helium's a very exciting project. The hotspots mine HNT. HNT was up to like 16, 17 bucks. I think it's hovering around 12 now. The native network provides incentives, and how this works, you have a miner, you buy a miner, you have it in your house. The Bobcats are like $500-600. You hook them up, hook it up to your internet.
HNT is 1881. It's up 30%.
Holy cow, it was just like 12 bucks, like recently. So it's got a lot to jump. But I'm looking at people in, like, when I say my neighborhood, I'll say a circumference of 5 or 10 million, or 5 or 10 miles. Some people are earning some serious jack. They're earning 50, 60, 150, 300 HNT a month. Do the math. 300 times 18 turns into some money. These miners pay for themselves pretty quick. Now, here's the best part of this. Napster founder Sean Fanning and former video game entrepreneur Amir Halium founded Helium in 2013. And so if you guys don't know what Napster was, Napster set off the digital music revolution.
Napster was the greatest thing of all time.
It was the greatest invention at the right time, at the right place, because you would basically, you'd be streaming the music on your drive. You'd be having that file, whatever you had, and you'd go like, oh, what's this? Oh, this is cool stuff I never heard. So somebody had like a pretty interesting taste. It was like yours. You start finding other stuff. Of course, the government shut that puppy down pretty quick in fast order. But Sean Fanning,
a lot that weren't so happy about that. Metallica was one of the biggest or most outspoken bands, against Napster. They wanted to shut that down.
Yeah, they wanted to shut it down because they were taking money out of their pocket.
Yeah, obviously they were taking all their sales. But it was great for all the consumers.
So this is it right here, Jeff. And people, you guys don't know Helium. Again, this is phenomenal. And I have a couple friends that are doing it. I got one buddy who's out in California. He's earning anywhere between 10 and 15K a month. He's got 2 miners. He's got a little bit boosted signals because he's using antennas, and he's got a position right. He's also in a really good place. And what happens is these things start communicating to other ones. They create sort of like these enclosed networks. And the Internet of Things pick up on there because you're plugging it based on your internet. So unlike traditional cellular networks like Verizon or AT&T, Helium Network uses different standards of hotspots, whereas they're about the size of a router. You can see it right there. Creates this decentralized network. So that's one of the huge things. The routers are wireless devices powered by Helium blockchain. And that what you're mining basically is Helium. So you get rewards along the way.
Awesome.
Instead of having all these cell towers, you're commonly used by major operators. And the hotspots mine HNT, like I said, the native network token.
Chip, how are we going to place our miners in a window like that? That's what I want to know. I want a high up location.
That's perfect spot. I'm gonna actually use a big antenna. And I'm going to use I'm going to buy a wireless box for it. But
I think I can put mine up in the attic.
You can put it in the attic as long and then pull. You got to be careful of the heat thing. But then you basically put it in your house. You can run the antenna up there, run it out the back of your house. because you know when you have HOAs, it's always prohibitive,
They're
right?
not going to be happy about that. Yeah.
So Jeff, this is what we're waiting for here, right? The new funding will accelerate the rollout of its 5G network. We have been waiting since April to get these 5G versions of it. They support mobile network operators, mobile virtual network operators, and it leverages the expansion of the coverage, because this is really their first foray into the 5G. All the other stuff's just the regular internet.
Yep.
And they say the investment we're seeing is a testament to our belief that an incentive-based model is the future. And that's what I love about this. When you say mining, you basically plug it in, you plug it into your internet, you turn it on, you
And
control it with your
money.
phone and your app, you start making money. This isn't like you needing all kinds of hash power and computational formulas, and you need rows of, banks of, boxes. That's not what this is. You plug this puppy in, you let it go. And it's funny because the network is completely open and you can see it. I want to see if I can pull up the network here. And again, we're just gonna go ahead,
Hey,
Jeff.
Chip, while you're doing that, I got to take a moment to give Matt LaRoche a shout out, because did somebody say cassettes? He says, I miss Napster. I was probably listening to cassettes. Cassettes. Did somebody say cassettes?
The usual, sir.
Please. Please.
Please.
Yeah,
Oh,
and they use something called proof of coverage. That's the novel proof of work algorithm that enables the hotspots to be rewarded trustfully, but it's not the similar type of thing that happens in other spaces, which is great. I'm trying to find out where they're
there you go. You got eNorm. By the way, they're going to restart doing the DIY. I've already set up 4 of the data-only HNT miners.
And that was what I was talking about right there.
And we need those the data-only HNT miners. I know we haven't bought those yet, but we've got to get some of the data-onlys. And,
please drop that in there.
eNorm there.
Drop in, I want to show the network where all the hotspots are, and I can't find it on their side. I'm just like, because I have this giant screen, so I can't quit. Oh, there it is. View the network coverage. Here we go. Here we go. So I'm not going to go exactly where I live, but I will go somewhere in Florida. I'll go exactly where Jeff is. Well, let's just look at Miami for a change. Let's just look in here.
There you go.
So
perfect.
There
Look
you
at
go.
that. Look
So
at that.
the
Look at all that green. Look at that coverage. That's impressive.
So that's
That's
a little
really
bit.
actually, that's unbelievable. I can't believe there's that much coverage. There's that many people that are fired up about helium. There's that many crypto people in Southern Florida. That's amazing.
Right? I mean, so you look at the network that it creates these like little hexagon type of things. And as you get bigger in the cities, you're going to see even more. And so, and of course, let's see this here. Earnings 0.3. Okay, so we got to get more into like a city area. Let's see. Let's go down here. Look at that coverage right there. Look at that.
What is that right there?
Click on this right here. That. And they just they assign the 3 names to it. Oblong, Mustang. Let's see what this one is. 7-day average beacons 141, 62. I'm trying to think, where's the earnings 0.2. Okay, that's pretty small too, because I know there's other ones that I've looked at. See, look at the network there. If you guys can see that, that's how it's connecting.
Amazing.
Far reaching, right?
What is the yellow?
This is the actual network that it creates. I'm just trying to find. Let's see what this one is.
Huh. Matt LaRose said it's like a hive. It does look like a hive. Jeff is asking if you can check out Punta Gorda.
Oh, can you put that in there? Punta Gorda. Let's do that. That worked out well.
Noodle said that's the STD maps of Florida.
Jeez, oh man. Let's look up in Palm Beach.
Oh my God, that's too funny.
Yeah, these are all pretty low.
eNorm says, no, I can send you an SD card. You can set up your own if you buy the hardware. So we need to get eNorm to send us the specs on the hardware so we can get these data miners set up.
Yeah, the data miners are cool, man. Let's do that.
And we want the hardware. I don't want to set this up on a cassette tape. you know. So
No.
Enorm, if you can send it, make sure don't send it on 8-track, don't send it on Memorax. If you can send it out, yeah, if we can get that on USB, that would be great. You know, ideally you can put that up into like a Dropbox and we can download it.
Yeah, you can do that too. That would be cool. That would be nice. That'd be nice. That would be very nice. But so yeah, this is
Matt LaRoe said Chip's Conquest. Oh, that's
nice. I appreciate that, but no. Conquest stay right inside this.
Reel to reel. Hey, don't joke about that. If my dad's still on watching, he was on earlier. He's still got his reel to reel. I remember, man, I remember his reel to reel. It's the greatest memories. You know, he put like Duran Duran and some of these others on the reel to reel, and it was just like the whole process. I remember sitting in the living room with him as he set it up, and he would play me the big tower speakers going and everything, and he was big into rock, but it was just having that. But he still has this stereo that he had from back in the day, and this thing is like solid. It's like, you know, every time I go visit and I look at the stereo, you know, all the memories come flooding back. And it's just like the big switches and everything. It's so cool.
Yeah, right on.
Again, reel to reel, man.
I want to thank XRP Speedboat. Of course, you know, James Rule right here. That right there, and in case you guys are wondering why he's saying XRP is not a security, because that super chat is provided right direct from XRP, right? He's got the uphold card connected. When he puts it in there, boom, that XRP is done. That's how the payment's being made. That, my friends, is not a security. And again, thank you for that, James Rule. And if you guys haven't watched the interview between Deaton and James Rule, I mean, it's a phenomenal interview, and this is what they talk about. But this is on the Crypto Law channel. Deaton started a brand new channel, and they do an interview, and it's a very good one, guys. You get a lot out of it, and they really break this down if you guys want more details on how that works. But I really enjoyed that interview, and I like this. It's going to be cool to see more of that. I'm glad that Deaton's out there doing more of this stuff, man. Because he's a true hero, patriot, you know, everything. So that's all I have, Jeff. I mean, I'm hoping that you know, we'll be doing more of this tomorrow night again. We'll have Antonio in here, which will jump into some stuff, and let's get his perspective on it, because he's hobnobbing with a lot of rubbing shoulders, a lot of big people. We might know some of the things that are going on out there, but we'll get his take on it, and we'll jump back in. And that's pretty much all I have. We broadcast here 7 days a week. See if
7
you're paying attention. See if you're paying attention, Jeff. See if you're paying attention.
Have you added Fridays? Chip is now doing.
No, Jeff's doing a Friday show. And don't forget, guys, to go ahead and like, subscribe, and click that notification bell so you know what to do in the future. And then also there you go, boom, On the Chain Live, subscribe, click that notification bell, and there you go. Thanks for the show.
I want to give a shout out to all of our supporters, everybody that tunes in, because we have people over in Europe, and it's like 3 o'clock in the morning right now. You know, we've got these guys over in Ireland that are tuning in. You know, Darcy's always on here from Galway, and we've got people from Germany and people from Bucharest, Romania, and just like all over the place. We got people over in Thailand and Singapore and Indonesia, Saudi Arabia, down in we have some people down in Nigeria, parts of Africa, Latin America, and obviously in the US. But Chip, you know what? The one thing that is 100% is that by far the On the Chain community, those that are subscribed and those that are in here commenting, are by far the smartest in the entire YouTube crypto space.
Without a doubt, Jeff. Not even a doubt. No, zero doubt about that. And on that note, guys, come on back here. We're going to have a little bit of fun. We're going to talk, Jeff and I are going to talk with Antonio. We're going to talk crypto. We got D&I here on Thursday. We got Charlie Silver back on here. It's going to be a bunch of fun shows coming up. A couple of laughs and chuckles, but we're going to dive into some stuff. And that's all I have right now. Well, guys, Chip, Jeff, out. We'll see you guys on the next one.
See ya.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.